In this video we will discuss about another therapy that can be used to treat solid tumors such as pancreatic tumors, and some of these therapies are still are even under clinical trials. And this is you can say that somewhat inspired from the CAR T cells therapies, and it is commonly known as adaptive cell therapies. So in this case what will happen is that blood either from the patient or from the donor is taken. So either blood will be taken, or we can say that the tumor tissues can be taken. Both of them could not, or is both the blood and tissue either from the donor or from the patients will be taken. And in this case the T cells will be T cells and or NK cells will be isolated from the blood, and they will be co-culture with this tumor cells. This tumor, they will isolate these TILs from the tumors, and they will co-culture both this T cells or NK cells and these isolated TILs, so that T cells and NK cells will get activated or has the enhanced effect against these TILs. And after that this T cells, the enhanced T cells or NK cells will further be uh, upgraded by providing them these chimeric antigen receptors or T cell receptors informations. And after that they will be cultured in vitro, and then they will be transfused into the cells either intravenously or intratumorally, directly to the tumor or into the blood, where they will detect and attack the tumor cells. And these things will happen during these chemoradiotherapies. And when this enhanced T cells or NK cells are within the patient, they will directly they will go and detect this tumor cells within the patients, or search for the cells that have those informations, the TIL informations, tumor specific informations. And so they will not only target the primary tumors but also the secondary tumor sites, such as these potential metastatic tumor sites in this livers, lungs, and the primary tumor sites in the pancreas. So this approach can be useful the to target or diagnose the patients that are already in the metastatic stage, as these enhanced T cells or NK cells will look around all the bodies for the TL information or the cancerous cells, and will trigger the immune response that will lead to the dying of the cancerous cells. And some of the these adaptive T cells therapies are still under are under clinical phase that have been mentioned here. So in this case the initial T cell therapies that are under clinical stage is that is approved for clinical stage is in 2017 by this Oki, and they used this these T cells with this kind of uh, modifications or this kind of receptors. And the next T cell therapies is that has been approved for clinical studies is in 2018, and it is based on CAR T cells, and they are directed towards this mesothelioma. And in 2019 the CAR T cells, they are directed towards not only just the mesothelioma, but they have enhanced this Batis T cells, that it will target not just the mesothelioma but also 41BV and CD3 zeta. And finally, and the last one, T cells therapy that based on this approach that has been approved for clinical trial is this 2021. Right now it is not reached to any stage, and uh, it is based on alpha beta T cells, the T cells that has these alpha beta receptors. So this is right now, as we can see that some of the clinical studies are under phase 1, and which is a good indication that this kind of approach can be useful to treat the patients that are already at the higher stage of the cancers, as in the case of pancreatic cancer, it is right now it is difficult to detect those pancreatic cancers at the early stage, and most of the patients are being detected at stage 3 or later. So considering this scenario, these T cells, adaptive T cell therapies could be one of the effective approaches, along with the other approaches that we have discussed in our previous videos, to target the tumor cells across different parts of the body. I hope you got an idea about these adaptive cell therapies that is usually been designed to target solid tumor cells. Uh, if you need to understand more about these therapies and need to know more about these clinical studies, you can go through the reference that has been provided in the description. So that's all for this video. Thank you for your time.